一つにな Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Hi there. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for attending today's Sunday service and Shintoku Academy. Um, Today is the fourth Sunday of this month, I think. I'm getting confused with days sometimes, but thank you for attending today's service. Just to let you know, for those of you trying to watch on Facebook or wanted to watch on Facebook, I'm not sure what's wrong with the connection between the program that I'm using and Facebook. So I have to figure that out. But what I also will be doing is I'll take the link from YouTube and I will post it into our Facebook account as well. So I do apologize that um, you're not able to watch on Facebook, but you can watch on Twitter. We are broadcasting on Twitter as well. So without any further ado, let's begin today's prayer service as well, Sunday prayer service, and then we'll move on to the Shintoku Academy, and I'll talk more about what Shintoku Academy is. For those of you who are joining us or who may not know what Shintoku Academy is, we'll talk about it, and we'll go into the first mini lesson. Ready? So let's begin. Haide. Prayer of sincere Toritsugi. I am a Konko Kyo believer. I believe in Ikiyami Konko Daijin, Tenchi Kane no Kami. I have come today to practice my faith, appreciate and acknowledge the blessings, favors, and interventions of Tenchi Kane no Kami, honor the ancestors, and learn more about the faith of Konko Daijin. As I learn more about the heart of Tenchi Kane no Kami, I nurture the faith of my spiritual family. Thus I boldly confess that my mind is alert, my heart is receptive, and I will never be the same as long as I practice the faith and receive Toritsugi. Yami Konko Daijin sama, Tenchi Kane no Kami sama. Thank you. Haide. 指導拝礼 for sincere thoughts. 天津のりと袴の腹にかむずまります。かむろぎかむろみのみこともちてすめびおやかむいざなぎのみことつくしのひゅうがのたちばなのおどのあわぎはらにみそぎあらいたまうときにあれませるはらいどの狼たちもろもろのまがごと積みけがれを払いたまい清めたまえと申すことのよしおは待つ神国津神やおよろずの神たち共に雨の淵駒の耳振り立てて きこしめせとかしこみも申す。Please open your prayer books to page 3 for the mediation prayer. Oh, page 2 for the mediation prayer. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Ikigami Konko Daijin sincerely and wholeheartedly each and every day. May we receive the mediation anew with all our hearts and souls on this day, this very moment. Ikigami Konko Daijin sama, Ikigami Konko Daijin sama, Ikigami Konko Daijin sama, Ikigami Konko Daijin sama. Kami prayer. Reverently we pray. The brilliance of heaven, the richness of earth. Time flows without cease. Years pass without end. In heaven and earth is a life that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is a truth that orders all. For this wondrous form, for these wondrous works, let us praise Tenchi Kane no Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings. This is the way. Yet many, not knowing the way, are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortunes. Great is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Konko Daijin, suffered many trials in this world. But held fast to faith and sincerity. He received Kami's great blessing and began the life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. The Divine Parent's great wish was thus fulfilled. Konko Daijin accepted the call to mediation that leads to the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day, he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth. And he knew not the coming of night. By night, he prayed for those who grieved, seeking salvation for all who suffered. And he knew not the dawning of day. Though years passed and the world changed, he did not waver from his task, the divine task of mediation. Thus was given the sacred Tenchi Kakitsuke, the guiding principle for our daily life. Divine favor was thus renewed, and blessings flowed universally, establishing the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of Ikigami Konko Daijin. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way. Through all the hardships of this world, through pain of body and soul, the way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to Kami. Without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far, the way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of divine favor, we offer our sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to a life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us. We are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray. So we earnestly pray. Prayer for grace. Kami-sama, give me grace for this day, not for a lifetime, nor next year, next month, next week, or tomorrow. Yes, give me grace just for this day. Direct my work and bless it. Advise in the things I say and give them blessings too. Direct and bless everything that I think, do, and speak, so that for this one day I have the gift of grace that comes from your presence. Kami-sama, just this one day, let me live generously and kindly in a state of grace and goodness and makes me a little bit like you. Shinju Kinen, silent prayer. ご信号法書 The recitation of the divine name. いがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金剛大臣様、いきがみ金ご大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金剛大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金 ご大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様生き神根高大臣様。Please open your prayer books to page 29 for Shintoku Sanji. 仰ぎ祭れば天高く仰ぎ祭れば天高く拝み祭れば地は厚し神の恵みに生かさるる身の幸いぞありがたき我が生き神の御取り次ぎ人ひもかくる時のなく天地の神の御守り遠き近きの隔てなし感慈しみはよろずよにあまねく満ちて果てしなく感計らいわくすしくて人の思いぞを呼ばざる我ら今月今日いやび祭りてひたすらに神の御影をたたえ祭らん神の比例よはおぎ祭らん。指導拝礼 for sincere claps.指導拝礼 for sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our home, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Tenchi Kane silent prayer. Yuka wa umashi michiteru mi hashira ushi haishi. Haware hao gumo shita wa shiki yuka wa no ushi haya. Haware hao gumo shita wa shiki yuka wa no ushi haya. Haware shinobu mo natsukashiki umashi michiteru mi hashira ushi haya. Waka no ura wa no kiyoki fukaki mi kokoro mochite. Kami o iamai michi o totobi. Nani wa yen no hiroki to kimi omoi mochite. Yo wa ware mi hito wo sukuite. Michi no mi hikari o amma kagashi oshien no megumi o kunni kagashi. Hito no yon no mototsu michi o kiwame tsukushi. Kami to hito to hitotsu naru kotowari o まさやかに教えまつぶさに示したまいし、大き高き右さおととみ祭りやび祭らくを、めぐしときこし橋とみそなわして、道の行く手をは松日のやとに守り、教えの子らが行く末を、照る月のいやひろに恵みたまえとかしこみも申す。祖先三字 page 36。教養の親は我が家の神我が神と心尽くしていつき祭らんな心尽くしていつき祭らんな尊きみ親の神たちを海の子のために家の柱を沈め立てたまい初子のためにこのなりわいを守り助けたまいかくりをのみえぬ 境にましませども右つくしみのみ心は写しよに変わらせたまわず先見たまのまさきく先は言えたまいくしみたまのくしびに恵みたまいて志は巻の柱の動きなくなりはは結ぶつなめのゆるびなく真心清らに励み努めしめたまいうからやからやわらぎやいて日にけに浦安く楽しましめたまいついに移しよのことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまい右つくしみをこむらしめたまわんものと神の実りの絶えなるをかしこみかたじけな耳親の恵みのおぼろげならぬを嬉しみ喜び申すことを見心も涼やかにひこしめしたまえと申す。花くしびのみ親の御霊。花くしびのみ親の御霊。花ととのみ親の神。花ととのみ親の神。Please turn to page 19 for the newly departed soul prayer. If you attended last week Wednesday's Chula Vista Kosha's monthly ceremony, I shared that I had a personal person who passed away, a friend of mine who's just a couple of years older than myself, who recently, just very recently, less than 2 weeks ago, passed away. I also received an otodoke about a person whose dear pet also passed away. So if you know of anyone who recently passed away, please include them in your thoughts when we do this prayer. Or if you'd like to pray for those who died during some kind of war or tragedy, as we know it continues to go on and sadly continues to go on, please pray for their souls as well. So please take this time to include those you love who may have passed away or even those you don't know into this prayer. Newly departed soul prayer. Spirit of the newly departed, we love you now and forever. Fond memories of you fill our hearts. We shall miss your physical presence, yet you will remain in our hearts forever. We pray for your eternal happiness. We sincerely pray with heart and soul. As a beloved child of Kami, you were given the gift of life and sought to live it fully each and every day. As you leave your physical form, please listen to our prayers. Whether in your physical or spiritual form, the universe is your eternal home. May you always be blessed with a peaceful heart. Know that you are always embraced by Kami's love. Chido Haire, 4 sincere claps. 一度入れ for sincere claps. 祖先帳簿廃止。玉出すきかけて祈らないよ世の親。親の身親の神の支配よ。玉出すきかけて祈らないよ世の親。親の身親の神の支配よ。入れ for sincere claps. 人入れ for sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 6 for the recitation of the Tenchi Kane. 木神金光大臣天地金の神一心に願え。木神金光大臣天地金の神一心に願え。おかげは我が心にあり。おかげは我が心にあり。今月今日で頼め。今月今日で頼め。Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever. On this very day, pray. Oración de Tenchi Kane. A través de Ikigami Konko Daijin, Oria Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. A través de Ikigami Konko Daijin, Oria Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. Ore ahora en este momento. Ore ahora en este momento. Ichido haire 4 sincere claps. I hope you feel refreshed. I feel so refreshing to do Gokinen in the morning. Thank you very much for attending. Before we go into the Shintoku Academy portion, just a reminder, this weekend, can't believe it's so quick. Our schedule's just a little pushed up a bit, and the reason for that is I'm taking students to Japan on the 14th of this month, and so my schedule is very busy. So our normally the Mitama Matsuri would be at the third weekend of this month, or the second weekend of next week, but we had to push everything up because of that trip. And so the Mitama Matsuri will be, as all of you know, starting last year, I split the days up for 2 days. So the first day, which is the March 2nd, is a Saturday, and on that day, we'll hold the Tenchi Kane no Kami monthly ceremony at that time. And then on that side, we'll do part 1 of the Mitama Matsuri the Grand Memorial Service. And that's the day that we call out all the names of spirits of those related to the church, those related to family and friends. They don't have to be Konkokyo. We honor them one way or another. We will always honor them. And so if you do have a family member you'd like to include, or you forgot someone, please, please, please go ahead. As long as I get it by Wednesday, their names in by Wednesday, I will be able to put them into the prayer note of the list. And so please, please, please get me their names. Also, if you have the name, if you have the date in which they passed, that would help a great deal. So we can honor them monthly as well. That's really important. For example, this month we will be honoring 3 new mitama as well. So please feel free to just send that in, but by Wednesday at the latest, because it does take a long time for me to go. And please note that that particular list is not 100% perfect. I'm constantly updating it. I'm constantly looking for information and things. So just to make sure that it's a solid list, but it's not perfect. So I ask for your kokoi. If you do have names, please share them with me. The next day, we will be having, and no, typically we have this service as well in March. It is the anniversary of when this church first opened. And that happened to be in March of 1987, if I'm correct on the date. I might be wrong. Of the year, I might be wrong, but it was definitely in March. So we have that Fukyokinen Ondesai, where we give appreciation and pray for the continued workings of this church. And then we'll have the part 2, the mitama, where we honor all the, we're not going to call out their names, but we're going to honor the mitama at that time. So we're kind of following the tradition of our parent church, only because, yeah, that's a lot of names we end up reading out. So please keep that in mind. So please, please, I encourage you to submit those names to me by Wednesday. Wednesday has to be the ultimate last day, just because it takes a long time for me to look over all of the names and make sure everything is properly put in. And then our Godai site will be in May. It's the second weekend of May. So I hope you'll be able to attend. Both of our guest speakers have said yes. So I'm very, very, very excited for both of our guest speakers. Now I just have to prepare for our November Mitama service. And then I'd like to give a shout out, a warm mahalo to the Konko Church of Whittier Rose Hills. I don't think you can see them, but what I'll do is I will definitely send it out in the next email that I send out. They have generously donated all of these vases that are here on this altar. I don't know how to do ikebana, but I'm sure we have believers who can. So they've generously donated these beautiful, beautiful vases. And I made a promise to them that we will only use these vases during Godaisai season. So I'll have to find a way to store them. I'll probably have to get a new thing and to properly store them. But I'm really so happy that there's actually 2 more on the way. So this is not everything. There's 2 more that's on the way. There's 1 more that kind of looks like this, and then there's another. Oh no, 3 more on their way. Oh, I forgot about that, but there are 3 more on the way. But I'll be picking those up next week when I go to Whittier Church to do their Mitama Matsuri. So those are kind of the new things that we have going on. I'm so excited. I feel like Kami-sama is giving new energy to our church. So that's so amazing. I'm just so ecstatic. So thank you. So if you give me just a little bit of time, what I'll do is I'll set up for the Shintoku Academy. I apologize. I forgot to I was going to bring folders for people who come in person so that they can start taking notes on their own. If you don't know what Shintoku Academy is, it is a curriculum that I had started in Hawaii. And it was based off of, Shintoku Academy is based off of what believers had questions about. There were, and 3 ministers, Reverend Koichi Konko, Reverend Edna Matsuoka, and myself, we sat down and we asked each other, what are some things that believers have asked us about? And they asked us about, at the most basic elemental levels, things that weren't even doctrinal, if that's even a word, or had to do with teachings or anything. They were so curious about different things. That was because when they first visually see things, like, what is all of this? I don't understand. I just follow along. And so it was the most, like, the basics. When we talk about basic, we don't necessarily talk about teachings in depth. We talk about like things that are so visual, especially if you come to a church. So we began realizing, wow, people are asking some really good questions. The reason now, a Shintoku Academy back in Hawaii actually took 4 hours. It's a 4-hour session. I promise you, this is why it's called a mini lesson. The goal is not to use 4 hours. The goal is to keep it within 30 minutes. And I was thinking about this over this past weekend about Shintoku Academy. And even though we can't do it online in church all the time, I decided, I think I want to start making videos, Shintoku Academy videos. And the reason why I want to do the Shintoku Academy videos is because for those people who, and I would really one day like to have Shintoku Academy held here at church. The reason why I'd like to do that is because in the event someone wishes to become a minister, or someone wishes to become a minister's assistant or hokyo, like a deacon, they'll have some kind of education. They'll have knowledge of faith or something from the simple to the advanced. So there are 3 levels for the Shintoku Academy. And again, those are based off the 3 levels of believers that we have. So that is kind of what Shintoku Academy is in a nutshell. It's based off the 3 levels of believers, based off of the questions people had. And as you advance the levels, so does the content. It's scaffolded in such a way so that there's learning with not just the instructor, but there's learning with the instructor. So that was the whole goal of Shintoku Academy. The mini lessons is take 4 hours and chunk it into 30 minutes. So you're not going to get the full thing, but I'm hoping maybe once a month to create a video about that first level of Shintoku Academy. And we're keeping it nice and short. I might shoot it here at church, or I might just do it at my home or at the Chula Vista Kosha. So one of those. So if you'll give me just a little bit of time, I just have to switch things over so that we have the PowerPoint up. So if you have a pen and paper, you wish to take notes, some of these things, some of you do know, some of these things you may not know. And if you're not able to watch the full thing, what I am planning to is to cut the Shintoku Academy portion out and put it under a special area inside YouTube as well as Instagram, as well as Facebook, so that it's just Shintoku Academy. So anyone can see it and they can learn and gather new information. So let me begin by just going over there and just getting that PowerPoint up. Hi, you have to see my face. Uh-oh. Present. Slide. I've never done that before. Oops, sorry. I have to save something. Okay. Oh, I've never done this before. This is kind of cool. Hi, I think all of you can see me, right? So, sorry, there's a bird in here. So, again, I'm gonna please forget I don't have my watch on, so I'm gonna make sure that we stay within the 30 minutes. So, welcome to Shintoku Academy. This is, and we can talk about why I named it Shintoku Academy at another time. But today, we're focusing on the very basics of what people had asked. And so this is actually one of the very first lessons that I do. Um, and level 1 consists of 4 different levels. Again, they're each 4 hours each, typically, which includes lunch. They're typically 4 hours each, which includes lunch. So there's no lunch, and today's just 30 minutes. So if you have questions, feel free to just throw questions into the StreamYard, into the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to try and respond to it at the best of my abilities. So, okay, so let's begin. Oh, I don't know why that's not working. There we go. So this is lesson is, oh, why did that happen? I don't know. Oh, hopefully. ちょっと待って. I'm not sure what's going on. I hope all of you are there. Are you all there? Sorry, this is all sort of new. I've never done a PowerPoint this way before, so it's kind of different for me. I just had maybe I should have just kept it there. There we go. I want this. Sharing this. Hide. Hopefully you can see me. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see. So we're going to learn the basics. It's just here. Okay, so who do we pray to? So if you notice, there's 3 altars here. Not all churches will have these 3 types of altars. Not all churches will have this 3rd altar here. Some churches have a third, like at the Honolulu church, they have this altar here where it says Konko-sama, but it's in honor of the past founding ministers. Some churches will have something for Konko-sama, or some of them will have nothing here. But you definitely will see 2 main altars, right? One is for Ikami Konko Daijin, Tenchi Kane no Kami. The other is for those who have passed on. Okay, so those are I say that I don't like to say the ancestral altars, because, for example, here at the San Diego church, we don't just honor our own ancestors. We also honor the ancestors of those who may not even be Konkokyo believers. We honor those who have died in wars, Native Americans who suffered at the hands of what happened here in the United States. I'm sure all of you know what our history is. So we pray to all these people. They may not necessarily be our ancestors, but I call them the deceased. I figure the deceased is a much better word because it's all encompassing. But again, you'll see these 3 altars. Now, please note, not all churches are alike. For example, the Rokujoin church or the Ueki church, this is the Kami altar here. And on this side is where the deceased altar is, or the Goreizen, right? So there are churches that have it differently. So as you can see here, not all churches are the same. This is the Tokyo church where it's just one altar. And the belief behind that is because the Mitama spirits are also a part of Kami-sama, and that because when we die, we return to Kami-sama, we are one with Kami-sama. I think, if I'm correct, this is the Kizu church, if I'm correct. So the Kizu church also has that mentality where it's one. The Jonan church is also, and Azabu church also has this one altar. But if you look here, this is a family altar here. But this is another church. Notice it's all on tatami. Some churches are raised, so these 2 churches have their altars raised. So not every church is going to be the same. Not every church is going to be the same. But that's both inside and outside, because churches come in all different shapes and sizes. So if you look here, these churches, this looks like a regular house, right? This looks like a regular house as well. But they're all churches. This one looks like a ginormous church. It looks like a huge concrete structure. It is a huge concrete structure. This is the Konko Church of Namba. If I'm correct, this is the I can't remember. I should know. Oh, Matsuyama Church, the Konko Church of Matsuyama. This is the Konko Church of Takasaki. And this is I cannot remember the name of this church, something Shingaoka, in Nara Prefecture. This is a mission, not a church. It's still a mission, but they come in all different sizes. If you ever visit the Konko Church of Yokohama West, it's like a normal little house. The founding minister, Reverend Hiroko Yamada, started theirs. They took their living room and turned it into a hiromae. I think it says so much about who she was as a person, that she would do that. So again, not all churches look alike. There's two very modern churches that have like two circles. Like one has a big old circle, another one has two circles on the side. Very modern looking churches to very traditional looking churches, whatever you want to call it, define traditional as. So again, not all churches. Look at our church. Here at Whittier, we were gifted. Not Whittier. Here at San Diego, we were gifted this wonderful room, this wonderful space. It's still a work in progress, especially since we still have things that we don't have. That's another time, another story for another time. Just watch the March service; you'll hear the story. But again, all churches are not the same. So one of the questions that is often asked is, oh, is there a membership fee to join Konkokyo or to be a member of a church? One, there is no membership fee to be a member of any of these churches, any of our churches. No membership fee at all. There is no fee for Toritsugi, so you may see people put an offering. It's an offering, and we're going to talk a little bit about offerings, but it's just an offering. It is not a fee to the Toritsugi. I've done Toritsugi many times without having to. I haven't paid anything, but I do give an offering in appreciation to Kami-sama. And we'll talk a little bit about offerings, just a little bit today. Not a whole lot, but just a tad bit. There's no set amount for offerings, so please keep that in mind. That is something free. That's from your heart. It should not be something you feel obligated to give. But again, we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. If there is an organization within the church, for example, a believers association, a women's group, a young adults group, they may have a fee, and that's just to help keep costs down, to help so that people who may not be able to afford things, we're helping them to feel a part of the church too. So some of those organizations, we don't really have any organizations here at the San Diego church, but I do know at Honolulu Church there's a Shintoku, and I think it's only $10 a year for individuals and $20 for family. And that's like, oh, okay. So I used to always, told my dad, do your own, and I'll do my own, and if you want to give more, you can give more. I can't remember which church I used to go to in Japan, but to be a part of their young adults group, all it was like 500 yen a year, so for like $5, and that's just to help offset whatever cost there is, or to give an offering to the church or whatever that the association wanted to use that money for. And typically, it's always for a good cause as well. But there's no membership fee at all to join a church. In Konkokyo. I can't speak about other religions, but I can speak about Konkokyo. So, I did mention offerings. And so let's talk about offerings to the church. We're going to talk about it separately. So for those of you who are wondering, well, can I give an offering? Remember, keep in mind, offerings come in all different shapes and sizes. There's monetary offerings, food items, goyo, which is your time, plants and flowers. Those are things that are offerings. And what's important about offerings is it has to come from your heart of sincerity. It's got to come from your heart of sincerity. If you're giving it out of obligation, no, don't give it at all. If you feel, oh, I'm obligated to give. I met a believer when I was training at the San Francisco church who said, oh, I got to come here and I have to give this to church. I have to give this to church. I literally wanted to tell him, you don't need this. I don't need this. Just take it back. I really didn't want, but I was not in any position to do that. But it's got to come from your heart, not a place of obligation. There is a story from the Waipahu Church where this believer, this was, if I'm correct, I don't know if it's pre-World War II or after World War II, I cannot remember. But she said that her son something had happened to her son, and her son was in the hospital. And he wouldn't wake up at all. And so she went to church, and she walked to the Waipahu church, and she had an offering. And she gave the offering, and she asked Sonoda Sensei, the founding minister of the Waipahu church, she said, oh, Sensei, please, I'm praying for my son. Please allow him to wake up and be healthy again. And Sonoda Sensei handed the offering back and said, this Kami-sama does not accept bribes. Of course, I will pray for your child. When your child receives okage or Kami-sama's favor, you can bring this back. You may bring this offering back, but this Kami-sama does not accept bribes, which I thought was a very powerful comment, and a very powerful statement in itself. And so this lady went home steamed. upset. How dare sensei not take my offering? Da, 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 da. But within a week, because the doctor said they don't know when this child is going to wake up. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks. She was forced to take her child home. Within 1 week, her child woke up. And she was so surprised that she walked back to church with the same offering. And she gave it to Sonoda Sensei. Sonoda Sensei said, your heart of appreciation has already reached Kami-sama. You don't need to give this offering. And this believer said, no, please accept this offering because I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. And so Sonoda Sensei said, in that case, we will, Kami-sama will gratefully receive your offering. So it cannot be out of obligation. Kami-sama does not accept bribes. This Kami-sama accepts hearts of appreciation. There's some people who believe, oh, I've done enough. I don't need to do anything anymore. That's not necessarily an offering, because that type of mentality doesn't really reach Kami-sama. That heart doesn't reach Kami-sama. So really, the power behind an offering is your ability to reflect. I am so grateful that, I'm not sure if I shared this with all of you, but when I come to this church on Mondays, I don't come as Reverend Todd Takahashi. I come as just Todd Takahashi, as an Ichishinja or just a believer. And I'm so grateful to be allowed this opportunity. And as part of my training, as part of my faith development, as part of my growth of who I am as just a Ujiko, a precious child of God. And so when I know when I give my offerings, I just have a immense sense of gratitude. I truly do. It means a great deal to me. And it's a huge blessing for me as well. Last but not least, the third most important point about when giving offerings to a church is that once received by Kami-sama, the minister will distribute it however they want to. Here at the San Diego Church, we're so grateful that we have offerings after every service, and I insist on it being distributed to members. So we distribute it to members. The Tashiro family has been so amazing because they take care of northern San Diego, and I go for the southern San Diego portion. There was a member back where I'm from who would often offer osonai something, and then after it was offered, she said she would also say, "Oh, you can give that back. I'll take it back." And he would be like, I was like, is he for real? Is he for real? He's taking it back. It's like Indian giving. That made no sense to me at all. So, I spoke with my minister at the time, and he too was like, yeah, I don't get it. So it was a very interesting situation. In that case, what that individual did was not an offering at all. It's not an offering at all. It has to be from your heart, knowing that this is to Kami-sama, and it no longer belongs to. It's not yours. It's never been yours. If it's meant for Kami-sama, it's meant for Kami-sama, not to be returned back to you. So I was kind of shocked at this individual, but hey, everyone's different. Everyone learns at a different level. But in terms of offerings to the churches, that's just a simple rundown. Just a simple rundown. We can go into more of this later on, but this is just a simple rundown. However, for those of you who have offerings for your home altar or your grave, you can do whatever you want, however you want. Food items, goyo, cleaning the altar, plants and flowers. I visit this one person's grave all the time, and oh my gosh, the flower offerings are so beautiful and so different. Always beautiful, fresh flowers. I don't know how they can do that. I'm so impressed all the time. But remember, when we're giving to Kami-sama at your home altar, when we're giving the Kami or your ancestors at your home altar, it's got to come from a place of sincerity. It's got to come from that place. And you don't give out of obligation. Oh, I got to do this on this day. If that's in your mind, if that's the first thing that comes into your mind, stop. Don't do it at all. Just stop. If, oh my gosh, I've got to do, no, stop. Don't do it at all. my own home altar too. I kind of have fun with it as well. Especially when it comes to my ancestors, I just love to have fun. When I make food, I always say, I don't know if you like Thai food. I tried making Thai food today. I hope it's for me. It's such a joy to be able to do that type of offering. The Hatsumizu, or the first water of the day. There's so many things, and so if you do have your own home altar, again, home altars take on different shapes and sizes. If you look at this, is like someone dedicated a whole room to um, their home altar. You don't have to do that. Someone dedicated just a part of a space to their altar. This is a believer from Mexico. I love his style. His style is so amazing. I wish I had that sense like he does. I just don't have that sense. And this is the Chula Vista Kosha, as well as AKA, also my home altar as well. As you can see, it's different. I offered cotton candy one day because I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, I think my ancestors would like cotton candy because they love sweets. I know they love sweet stuff, and it's such a joy for me to give. Such a joy for me to prepare offerings. So I hope that when you do your home altars, or your altars at the grave, or the grave offerings at the grave, you do it with so much joy. Because for me, there's so much joy in doing this. I love shopping for the offerings here at church for our Get Today's Size. If you read my Instagram posting about everything being red, February is my favorite. This is so bad to say, but it's my favorite omatsuri because the challenge to have all red offerings. It's a ridiculous joy, and I'm so grateful to be able to continue this. How long have I been doing this? 4 years? Has it been 4 years or 5 years? 6 years? 4 years? Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember when I started this tradition, but it's such a joy. It really is a joy. So I hope you'll all have that some kind of joy when you do offerings for your home altar or grave. At the heart of a church is what's called the okekkai, or the seat of toritsugi. And the seat of toritsugi typically will be here. If you're looking at the altar, it's typically at the right side of the church. However, there are a few churches who have it on the left side. There are also a few churches that have multiple, what we call okekkais, or the seat of toritsugi. Multiple ones. The Abeno Church has one. I think there was, aside from the main one, 6 or 8 other ones. The Amagasaki Church has one. About 5 total. Only during services do they have 5, and on regular days it's just one. So some churches will have multiple okekkais as well. The okekkai, if you look at the word okekkai, the kanji for it, it means the joining of two worlds. The literal interpretation is the joining of two worlds, meaning the world of humanity where we come, this space where we come to worship us with all of our faults and imperfections, all of our joys, and who we are as human beings. This is where we are. We get to meet Kami-sama in the world of divine, which is the altar area. And so the okekkai joins that two worlds. People ask, what do you say at the okekkai? And we'll talk more about mediation at another time, but just a simple rundown. You can give your requests, do apologies, do appreciation, our pains, our joys, our hearts. Unfortunately, not many churches and we'll speak about this, but really, this is an opportunity to share your pains and your joys and your heart with sensei, or the toritsugisha, quote unquote mediator at the okekkai. There's some people who don't have churches, so I know that our members in Mexico, they will do toritsugi via direct messaging. Some will do it via email. One of them does it on WhatsApp with me. So that's absolutely, I have people who text me. That's absolutely fine. Everything goes into the Gokinencho. I do pray for these things as well, for their prayers. So at the heart of our church isn't the altar to Kami-sama, isn't the altar to the ancestors. Really, the heart of our church is the okekkai, or the seat of mediation or seat of toritsugi. So please keep that in mind. It's a sacred yet dirty. And we'll talk about mediation and the okekai one day. Talk about why it should be the dirtiest part of the church. What kind of services and ceremonies do we have? So I'm going to focus on our church here. Most churches will have the things that I'm going to be mentioning, but for our church, we just celebrated the New Year ceremony. The monthly ceremony for Tenchi Kane and the deceased, we had that about 2 weeks ago. The spring and autumn grand memorial ceremonies, which is in March and in September. So ours is this weekend, starting on Saturday and Sunday. Appreciation ceremony for the founding of the San Diego Church. For the founding of the San Diego Church. That's this March. So that will be this coming Sunday, along with the spring grand memorial ceremony. We have the Tenchi Kane Grand Ceremony, which is in May, where we just specifically honor Tenchi Kane. We have the mid-year and end-of-year ceremonies. So this is very typical in Japanese society, where we cut off, we appreciate and reflect on our things that we went through, the blessings, favors, interventions. This is a time for a lot of reflection in our lives and in our faith and in our relationship with Kami-sama, both at the mid-year and end-year ceremony. Many churches have this. We'll do this. We have the appreciation ceremony for Reverend Norikazu Yukawa, who's the founding minister for our church. That is always in July. And then we have the Ikemi Konko Daijin Grand Ceremony, who is the source of teachings, I like to call him, for Konko Kyo, or quote-unquote the founder. He really didn't found anything, though. But so that's why I call him the source of teachings, in November. And finally, the Fyoko Rosha Hotokusai, which is in December. We are the only church here in KCNA, KCNA in Hawaii, that does this particular service. If I'm correct, the churches in Brazil have a Fyoko Rosha Hotokusai, but we are the only church to hold this. And we don't focus it just on the San Diego Fyoko Rosha or those who have meritorious service to the faith. We focus on those who help share this faith and help those outside of Japan. So our focus is outside of Japan. So if you would like to be a part of that service, please feel free to come to church. Our churches, we have in-service and online services as well. So I don't know why that's happening. This is weird. Sorry. So those are all the services. And again, if you didn't get this, I will be splicing this portion out, and I will be separating it and putting it on YouTube, as well as Instagram and Facebook, so that all of you have the opportunity to be able to see all of this. And so this comes to the end. I told you we're keeping it nice, short, simple, nothing too heavy, because I can't put 4 hours into 30 minutes. But so we kept it nice and simple. But I hope you got something out of today. Just something simple. I don't care if it's, I learned about this, I learned about that. Something simple. And so in the if you go to the the Google Forms that is in the YouTube area, if you click on that, on the bottom portion, you'll see a section that says, what did you learn today from Shintoku Academy? Please share with what you learned. Hopefully there'll be something little that you learned, but please note, again, I'm hoping to do more of these videos, since we don't always have days when we just have a Sunday service. So I'm hoping to do more of these. All of you will continue to learn something from the simple things. And I'm going to do this for the first level of Shintoku Academy. So with that, I want to thank all of you for your time, for joining me today, for joining us here today. Even though it's just Sunday service, I'm glad that you're able to join us for Sunday service and Shintoku Academy. Please look forward to future Shintoku Academy videos. I really, really would. I feel this passion that this is something I really want to do and continue. So with again, just a reminder, this weekend this coming Saturday and Sunday will be the two-part Spring Grand Memorial Ceremony or the Reiko Taisai. So until this Saturday, I look forward to seeing all of you. Please take care. Please stay safe. Ahuiho and malama pono. I have to end it here.